everyone, good morning. It's Stephanie Acker here from Design the Experience. And this morning we're doing something a little bit different and I hope it's okay. I apologize. I wasn't able to get a pre-recorded video on Instagram stories up last night. There's just been a lot going on. Unfortunately have not been feeling super great. So Esther was super nice and understood and allowed me to do this as a Facebook Live today. And we will of course get this recorded up on the summit. And then we will be doing some additional follow-up on this as well. So today we're going to be focused on Instagram stories. So why Instagram stories and why are they so critical? And if you join in on with us, then make sure you just comment below, and you guys can also comment later and we can answer some questions. We can also do some additional follow-up on this. So why Instagram stories? Well, Instagram stories have become remarkably popular. So as you might have heard at this point, over 500 million Instagram stories are getting watched every single day. Good morning, Molly. So they are on point. They're on track to actually supersede the popularity of regular posts. So the reason that you want to use them as a small business is because it's a great way to get in front of your audience, and the people actually are very open to them being a little bit less curated than what your normal post may be. So that's actually what people seem to really be reacting to, in fact, is that when it feels more organic, when it is organic. Let me get a little coffee, shall I? So when it feels a little more organic, when it's not as perfected, it doesn't have to be beautiful. They want to see you. They want to feel more about your business. They want to get to know you. People do business with people that they like. So give them a chance to like you. And that's where Instagram stories can really shine. They only last for 24 hours. They're only a minute long, so they can break up into little 15-second segments. So it just gives you a lot of opportunity to like jump on, to do some behind the scenes, etc. And we'll give you some ideas on that in a minute. But today, what I want to do is give you some ideas, some kind of best practices and tips, and some new things that literally just last night got announced. So I'm actually kind of excited that we didn't get to do the recording because this wouldn't have been in there. It just got announced and it's a big deal, and it'll start rolling out over the next week or so. That will be a big deal, I think, for a lot of small businesses. So let's kind of jump in. So first and foremost, some core things about Instagram stories. So I already mentioned they're a minute long. That's their max, unless you go live. So Instagram stories live can be very popular, especially if you're going to pre-promote it. So you can say, hey guys, I'm going to do a Q&A, or I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything, or if you're a realtor, I'm going to show you how to stage a living room if you're going to sell your house, or if you're a hairstylist, I'm going to show you how to make your own hair mask. If you're an esthetician, I'm going to show you how to do, how to really do the perfect kind of, how to like wash your face just right at the nighttime, so you're being really careful with your skin, etc. Right? That's what an Instagram Live is fantastic for. If you're a lawyer or an accountant, right now is a great time to be answering questions for people. So you can pre-promote it, which is great. Say, hey guys, at 9 o'clock on Tuesday, I'm going to be going live on Instagram stories. Join me. Okay. If you don't pre-promote it, just keep in mind that you need a little bit of time for people to get notified to join you on the story, and that realistically, lives aren't really for the people that join you. It really is for replay purposes. So for example, right now, we'll have some people join us on this Facebook Live, but it's all about timing. Are you here? Are you live? Did you get notified that I'm live? Do you have the time? So if you don't, that's okay, because that's where the replay comes in, and Instagram stories are great for that because it stays live for 24 hours and you can save it as a highlight, which we'll talk about in a minute. So if you go Instagram Live, you can go live for up to an hour on Instagram stories. So if it's a regular story, okay, so that's a video or photos, the max is a minute. If you go live, you can go up to an hour. Okay, so just to kind of clarify, when you're looking at it from an Instagram, a regular Instagram, if you think about a video on Instagram itself can only be a minute long. So the post itself, if you post a video, can only be a minute, right? Anything above that has got to go to IGTV or it's going to get cut off. So if you're going to go live, right, you want to do something that's more interactive, you're going to want to do that on Instagram stories so that it can go longer, okay? Or you can then create a video on IGTV, post it on IGTV, share a preview on your IG stories, and you can create a little clip it and put it on IG, your Instagram stories as well. Sorry, that's a little confusing, but that's just a great way to kind of create content and keep using it over and over again. So that's a key thing, so you know. The other is, obviously, I'm sure you already know this, you clearly want to do it vertical. You've got a great camera sitting right in your phone. This is the way to do it. So if you have any type of smartphone in a version 6, 7 or above, or an Android that's relatively new, you've got a great camera. Get lighting from above if you're going to be taking pictures of yourself, or anything. You're going to want to use lighting from the front, not from behind you. Try to use white lighting if you can. That's going to look the best for you. If you're doing pictures or you want to do a little bit of animation on photos and images, you can use a tool like Canva.com. We're big fans of Canva.com. If you've been watching any of our videos this week, you know that we talk about it pretty much every time, because Canva.com has a free version, which is great, but we'd absolutely suggest that you use the paid version, the Business Pro version. It's only about, I think, $12 a month. But you can upload your logo, you can use your brand colors, you can save your fonts in there. It's got tons of different templates on it. So it's a great tool to use, and you don't have to be a designer. So it has actually Instagram story templates that you can go in and create that are really pretty. They're easy to use, and you can create that. Another great tool that I love, again, it's not free, but it's a good download, and I use it quite a bit. It's called Mojo. Mojo. That's another great tool if you want to create animated Instagram stories. That's an app on your phone. Canva.com is an app on your phone, and you can use it on your desktop. Mojo is just an app on your phone. So those are just a couple of key tools. Or of course, you can do something simple like, guys, I could take a picture of this right now. In fact, I will take a picture of this right now while I'm talking. And later, I will share that with our channel on Design the Experience. So it doesn't have to be fancy, because people just want to see real people. They want to hear about you. And if you're nervous, if you're going to do like a live or something, this is really for any type of video you're doing, tell people you're nervous. Say, hey guys, this is my first live video and I'm really nervous, but I'm trying to get better at it. People will start rooting for you. That's vulnerable, and they like it, and they go, oh yeah, I know, me too. I hate doing videos too. I totally understand. So give them a chance to connect with you and hear where you are, and it can really work, okay? So that's just some key things, is vertical, up to a minute if it's just a regular video that you upload, or if it's graphics, and up to an hour if you do an Instagram live, okay? You can also save your stories. So you can save them, and you can put them as either you can archive them so you can use them later. That's right on your phone. When you're in your Instagram story, you'll see it in the bottom right. You'll see an archive button. You can also create a highlight. So if you go to people's pages, you can look at Design the Experience. We have some examples, or really, but a ton of places have them. You'll see highlights above the post. So the grid, which is the 9 grids, the post that you see on anybody's profile, you'll see these little circles. Those are the highlights. And what those are is that's an opportunity for you to put key things about your business that come from stories. So they have to be stories. When you create a story, you can then save it into a highlight, and you can actually use a tool like Canva.com, etc., to create its own cover photo. So you can create a pretty little quick cover photo that's branded, that looks nice. You put a name on it, so you could put something like tips in there. You could put sales. If you're retail, you could put spring or summer clothes. You can put a ton of different things behind the scenes, our team. There's a lot of different ways to use highlights, and what that does is it gives people a chance to come back and look at those stories later on. And also, if somebody's trying to find more information about you as a company, it's sort of like a little bit of a mini website, right? So they can come and find some FAQs, they can find some tips, they can find where to find you, etc. And you can change those out. You can delete them whenever you want. You can, but they save as long as you want them to be on there. So it's a way to create content once and then keep using it in multiple ways, okay? Another great way to create content and keep using it is to connect your Facebook to your Instagram. Now, if you're a small business, even if your primary audience is your Instagram audience at the moment, you absolutely have got to have a Facebook page, right? You just have to. It's just in today's age, right now, your Facebook page is almost as important as having a website. If you have a business and someone goes and searches for you on Facebook and they don't find you, or they find an outdated page or one that's not active, they're going to just think you're simply not an active company, or you're not really up to date, or you're not valid. Okay, so you got to have a Facebook page and keep some general content on it. So what you want to do is link your Facebook to your Instagram, okay? And then when you create an Instagram story, it'll give you an option to share directly to your Facebook story. Now, Facebook stories are not quite as popular yet as Instagram stories, but they are growing in popularity, mainly because Facebook is promoting them so highly, and you'll see them at the very top of the feed as well. Good morning, everybody. You'll see them at the very top of the feed as well. So you can create an Instagram story and then share it directly over to your Facebook story, and it will automatically populate there. And most of the capability will come with it. Not everything. Some of the stickers won't work. Some like the question sticker won't work, things like that. But a lot of the pieces will work. Okay. So again, you're creating one piece of content and then sharing it and using it in multiple channels so that you as a small business owner are saving time, you're being more efficient, and you're reaching more people. And that's the goal at the end of the day. Now, one caveat before I can go to the next part of Instagram stories is, we just shared this week, is one reason you might not want to create an Instagram story and then share it to Facebook is, on Instagram, you cannot include a link to anything unless it's an IGTV. If you have an IGTV account, you can link to a video there, okay? Or if you have over 10,000 followers, or you pay for a link, so you can promote a story. That would be a link to a website, or to a video, or to anything like that, a blog post, etc., or a sale, etc., a product. So if you are just doing a regular story and you want to link to something else, you can't do it within the story. Somebody would have to go to your profile just like normal and link to and get the link there. But on Facebook right now, and I do not expect this to last very long because they're not currently monetizing it, and we all know they will, you can add a link to a story, which is amazing. A free link to a website or a product or a video or a blog or anything. There is a free link tool. It's just right up here in the top right where you see all the buttons, just like on Instagram stories for the tools. You can create a link to anything right now on a Facebook story. So what you could do is create your Instagram story, right? Let's say you do a little video on your phone, a little 45-second video on your phone camera, okay? Then you upload it to your Instagram story, add all your fun stickers and stuff, which we're gonna talk about in just a minute, post it to your Instagram story, right? Save it to one of your highlights if it makes sense that you now have created on your page. And then take that same story, because it's on your phone, and then put it on your Facebook story, and then simply link it. Now you just add the link, okay? Facebook story has similar stickers and stuff. It's not all the same, but very similar, a lot of them. And you do want to add stickers, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but that just kind of gives you some different options. Also, by saving it on your phone later on, you can then turn some of these into, kind of a montage video, or you could use it later on and share it. So that is one thing that, again, be thinking about, how do I keep using this content if people are going to respond to it and it's going to be helpful. So that's kind of the caveat. So now let's talk a little bit about some key best practices on the things that you can use, and the big news about Instagram stories that I'm super excited about, because again, this is the one benefit of me not doing this video last night, because it just came out and it's not even live for most people yet. So is the stickers. So one thing that people really love about Instagram stories, besides the fact that it can be more authentic and it doesn't have to be as curated and as perfect and as pretty, is that it does have all these great tools and interaction. So something that we think that the reason that Instagram stories have done so well is because people can interact. So you can do a poll, you can do a question and answer, you can add GIFs, you can add fun stickers, you can do little animations like little arrows to say, hey, go to the next page, or to point down at something. You can make it really fun and a lot more interactive than what a normal post can look like, unless it's a video, and much easier to do that as well. So what you want to do is use those stickers, and there's a lot in there. You can even create little picture-in-picture. And so if you use those stickers, you can give people a chance to touch the screen. So while they're watching your story, they're listening and hearing you, they're also touching and interacting, okay? So you want to use those well and smartly. You don't want to overwhelm people with it, where every single story is a question, or every story is a poll, every story is a Q&A, etc. But it's a great way to, one, get feedback from people. Maybe you have a new product coming out and you want to test a name, or you want to say, do you like this color better than this color, etc. Or should I do this or this, or do you love this or this, or maybe you're just entertaining them. Was this dog funnier than this dog, etc. But it's a great way to get feedback, to engage with people. It's a great way to get insight from your audience about what they care about, what they're doing, and it's a good way to engage their brain by touching and being tactile while they're actually watching your story. So using the stickers is a really good way of doing that. A lot of people don't realize how many great stickers there are. My favorite sticker is the poll sticker. I love using that one. Just ask a simple question. You've got a yes or no, and people, once they touch it, can see the yes or no's, which is great. Then you get to see the interaction. They see other people are interacting as well. It's super simple. It takes them barely any time. So it's an easy engagement for them. But again, they're still physically engaging with you. So you're going to be more memorable because their brain has engaged in addition to their ears. Okay, their body has engaged. But here's the big news. Super excited about this one. Okay, this just came out. Last night, Instagram Stories has announced that for small businesses, they've been testing it for a while, but it hadn't been fully launched, and now it looks like it is going to launch in the US and Canada this coming up week. Some people may actually already see it. They typically roll it out in little batches, and then the rest of the world over the next month. They are rolling out an opportunity for you to have a sticker for donations. That's actually already showing up live on mine, where you can do a donation to an existing nonprofit, so you can drive a donation. It looks like later on you may actually be able to do a personal donation, but that is not super clear. But you could add a sticker to allow people to donate to some type of fundraiser. There's going to be an opportunity for you to add a place for people to buy gift cards right on your Instagram stories. I mean, how huge is that? So you can create a place for people. If you're a small business right now and you're trying to survive and thrive, and gift cards are a part of that, and people want to help support you, that's a great way for you to put it right there and just put it and make it super simple for people. Now, of course, you need to have the support for that when they go and buy it, they need to be able to get it from you, right? Go to your website and get it. So be thinking about those things now, because that's where it's going to be. But that is coming. So it's going to have, let's see, there's fundraisers, there's gift cards, and then there looks like there's probably also going to be food orders. So if you're a restaurant, there might be a way, and again, there's not a ton of detail yet. This is kind of how Instagram rolls. They really quietly test things. They let a couple of people quietly see if it's going to get tested. And then if they like it, then they'll roll it out to a couple people. And then they almost never announce national, like that it's coming. They let other people announce that it's coming. And that's because they can pull it back if they don't want to end up keeping it. But so it looks like there's also going to be food order capability for restaurants. So we'll keep an eye on that and see kind of how complex that is and what that really means. Because for a restaurant standpoint, obviously that has a good bit of complexity, because you've got to figure out how to kind of tie that into your website. But if you do have that ability, that's huge. Ordering gift cards for a small business, doing a personal donation for a small business, and ordering food is huge. So if that doesn't affect you today as a small business, well, one, the gift card one really does, right? There's nothing, I can't think of a single business that realistically you couldn't do a gift card for. Now, it might not seem kind of typical, but if you're a CPA, people are going to need your services. Taxes got pushed off to July. People are going to need your services in July. If I'm trying to support you and I know I've got to spend that money anyway, why wouldn't I just go ahead and buy a gift card now? Because I know I'm going to use it. Especially if you offered it to me with, hey, if you do your taxes in May, I'll give you $100 off. right? Something like that. That's a great way for you to do that. So you are incentivizing people to buy earlier and to support you now, but then they can use the service later, right? So that's good for you to kind of spread out for yourself. If you're a lawyer, same thing. Hey, if you have a trademark coming up, you can buy a gift card now to work on this trademark, right? When you need it later in the year, et cetera, et cetera. So there's lots of different ways for you to use the gift card button now that's getting ready to come on the Instagram stories. Check your stories today and see if it's live, because again, like I said, it's going to roll out slowly. And then the donation button's there for mine, the fundraiser. It's not for the personal fundraiser yet, but it is for fundraisers for nonprofits, which is fantastic. And then the personal looks like it's coming, and then the food orders. So, but the good news besides that is what it means is Instagram is paying attention to what small businesses need. So they realize and have shifted, I think, pretty quickly to, hey, in order for this in this new world, right? Because we know the country's going to slowly and the world's going to slowly open back up, but it's going to be weird and it's going to be staggered and it's going to be, kind of bizarre. And we don't know what that new world is going to be like. And we know things are going to change. So they're seeing that and going, okay, how do we help all these small businesses? Because the reality is the vast majority of the businesses on their platform are smaller businesses, right? They're not being supported by Coach and Louis Vuitton. Like, that is just not what's going to drive all of their activity on their platform. So they're thinking ahead. So if they can put out some of these types of tools and they do really well for a small business, what that means is they're also working on other ideas. So we already know that they've made it really easy for people to shop on Instagram now. Pinterest has also made it a lot easier for people to shop directly. They're doing some great things. So if you do have a retail store or any type of hard product, you absolutely want to be thinking about getting on Pinterest now. They're upping their game quite a bit. But Instagram stories is something that people are using. They're already on it. They're consuming it. It's an easy platform. It's a breeze to use, and lots of more tools are coming for you to make it easier and easier for you to connect and to get the things that you need out of people and to engage with your audience. So let me stop right there. I know that's a ton of information this early in the morning, and see if anybody has any questions that are already on the live with us. Does anybody on the live have any questions with us? No? Okay. So before I go, the one other thing I wanted to remind you is, sorry, I meant to bring this up earlier as a best practice, is as a best practice as well on Instagram stories, you want to keep in mind you can and should use hashtags. So on an Instagram post, as you probably know, you can use up to 30 hashtags. You shouldn't. That looks like spam. Typically, research shows anywhere from around 9 to 14 to 15 is the best amount of hashtags. That's what kind of gets the best results. On an Instagram story, you can put up to 10. Research shows about 5 does the best. But what really works, which I love doing, and a lot of people don't realize you can do this, is to hide your hashtags so it stays really clean. So on an Instagram story, this is super simple to do. On an Instagram story, you go to the text button at the top and you type in your hashtags, okay? And I'll come right back to you, Stephanie, on that. So you type in the hashtag, and then you just simply squeeze, like you touch the text and you squeeze it and make it tiny. And then you move it somewhere on your screen. You can actually move it to, let's see, for example, if this was my story, I could move it to on top of my black shirt here, and then I could change the color to match my shirt so it would hide, it would like disappear. So that's easy to do. I can then take a sticker, right, or a GIF, and lay it on top of my hashtag. So the hashtag is still there. So from an SEO and a reach standpoint, my hashtag is there to help my story get more reach, but that the sticker or the GIF or anything is sitting on top of it. So my screen still looks really clean. So use your hashtags, but just clean them up so that people don't see what you're putting on there. Okay. So it just helps you quite a bit. So Stephanie said, where's the button showing on your phone? Which button are you talking about, Stephanie? Can you clarify and I can answer that? Oh, good. I'm so glad it's good info. If you can clarify that stuff, then I can get that answered for you on the button. So So that's the other one on there. Okay. So guys, those are the kind of the key points there. So you've got, for the gift card, sorry. So the gift card button might not be showing up yet for you because it's still the new buttons. So if it is going to show up, if you go into an Instagram story, you're going to see in your top right, you're going to see has an A and has little stickers. It will be where your stickers are. So once those show up, my donation button is now showing up under my stickers. So the gift card, the food orders, the donation buttons, and all the other polls and the Q&A and all those other, and gifts and things like that are all showing up under a sticker button. So you're gonna see in there, you've got a font, like you have a letter, you have a little smiley face, those are like little just emoticons, you've got stickers, you have a link, but that can only link to your IGTV if you're not above 10,000 followers or you're not paying for that link. And so you just go into that sticker button and you'll see it. So keep kind of checking over the next week because we do know these are for sure rolling out to the US. That has been confirmed. We just don't know when the personal donation one is going to roll out, and we're not quite sure how the food order one is going to work. So that's the kind of the question. But yeah, that's where they'll be under the donation button. And then how many hashtags are appropriate for a story? So good question, just to kind of reiterate. So you can have up to 10 on a hashtag on a story, but 5, research shows 4 to 5 is the best. So if you can add up to 10. And if you're first starting, absolutely do up to 10. Again, hide it behind a GIF or, hide it to a color by color matching, or in just squeezing the text and doing the pin drop to change the color, or hide it behind a GIF or a sticker or one of these new buttons that they have. But, on like an ongoing basis, research is showing that most stories are getting the best reach with about 4 to 5 hashtags on average on a story. Okay. Any other questions? I know this is a ton of information, guys. I'm so sorry. It's like Friday. Wow, tons of info. All right. Well, if you have anything else, do let me know. Go back and look at some of our other videos. Don't forget about how powerful Facebook stories are getting. We're going to be doing another Facebook Live about how to really activate your Google My Business. Esther did a great video earlier this week around how to turn Google My Business into a super powerful tool for you as a small business. It's unbelievably powerful. A lot of small businesses aren't using it in a way, and it's free, and it has really helped change the game for a ton of businesses. And then we're going to give some tips on how you can take a lot of this content that we're helping you to create and how to use that on Google My Business to actually help you show up above organic searches. So I hope you have a fantastic Friday. If you have any additional questions, drop them in the comments below and we will get them answered. And if we need to do some additional videos, we certainly will. And you can also follow us at Design the Experience. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.